in betting and doing this type of work we do, you're going to get a lot of shit. I got a lot of shit.
Do.
All right, fuck off. All due respect. Okay, I'm about money. I don't care about patriotism. I don't care about
Ah,
fanboy foam finger nonsense.
come
Who is
on.
going to get the job done? Look, Donnie, I'm looking at these odds. U.S.
Okay.
down to minus 130. The whole world
Disrespectful.
is on the U.S. They are going to not win today. Trust me.
Ah,
Australia is going to cover the half goal. And I think Dan's on point.
uh-oh.
Listen, here's my
Uh-oh.
problem. You look at the Australia side. I was very concerned against Turkey. They give up 30 shots. 30. Not 20, not 25, 30. They will take pressure. But you look at the end result, Donnie, they won 2-0. They were just more quality. Here's the issue with the U.S. They had a lot of pressure coming into the game, but they answered the call. Now you have even more pressure. Now you have even more money coming in. I mean, again, we're going to see this whole world's in the U.S. Matt Beach, the goalkeeper for Australia, was fantastic. And they're a good counter team. I think plus a half a goal makes a lot of sense here. I could see this game 1-1. I really could. And I think a lot of people will wonder, Australia
I
was
like what I'm
pretty
hearing.
damn good. I
I
think
like
it's
what I'm hearing.
1-1. I'm going to take the half a goal here.
Now,
I'm getting plus a half a goal, plus 135, Donnie.
now, there's no way Dan can come across the bow here and back up Jeff Nadu here on the day we're going to be cheering for the U.S. I already see the garb he has. And by the way,
The
I know
false
what he
flag,
likes.
dude.
I'm trying to persuade him. Does he want to go down this territory again? Take it away, Dan. U.S., Australia, 3 p.m. Eastern on Fox. Break it down. Don't hurt me.
All I know is I have a feeling that after this, my mentions are going to look quite like Jeff's mentions. And the man's always going to war. So we're going to war together here, Jeff, because I think he kind of nailed it. And just to underscore a lot of what Jeff was saying and maybe put some numbers behind it as well, Australia is a terrific counterattack team. That game against Turkey, they only had the ball 28% of the game and they won 2-0. Like, that's not something you can ignore. They only had 4 shots on target and they made the most of those. Now, for the USA, I think Jeff kind of nails it as well because they answered the bell, sure, but Paraguay, 10 minutes into that game, guys, already gave up an own goal. And then it looked like they wanted to take the ball and go home, pack up lunches, forget it, boys, not our day. So did USA really have to beat a Paraguayan side that's usually a lot more stout? No, it seemed like the energy that was behind them, the fact that it's, the opening round of the World Cup, all that excitement, USA as a host nation, stage was just too big for Paraguay. And then you look at Australia, they played, in my opinion, on paper, Turkey was actually the class of this group coming into this. However, they're such an up and down team. When things go wrong for Turkey, they go wrong in a hurry, and they can roll over kind of like what you saw Paraguay did. So for Australia, the fact that they barely had the ball and they win 2-0, boys, scoring a goal in soccer is like insane. That's why you see 0-0 score lines, 1-1 score lines. So for me, what happened with the Team USA? Despite the fact that they dominated that whole game, they conceded late. They conceded late just like they did in 22 of their last 24 matches. They have allowed a goal. Why would I think that's any different here today? And I don't see a 4-1 scoreline for USA. I see them scoring a goal. Maybe they score 2, but Australia has shown that they will not roll over in this game. And you have a goaltender on the USA side that saw 1 shot that entire game, guys. 1 shot that was on cage. What happened? It went in. He's going to see a lot more with this stout offensive counterattack that you're going to see from Australia. I think both teams to score is in play. Maybe that's a safer way if you don't want to full-on fade the USA. But I'm right there with you. That plus 135 on the double chance or the half a goal, however your book calls it, that's the way that I want to attack it. I think Australia could be live to win this game outright, but I want that draw in chance because USA, with already a game under the belt, a draw doesn't kill them in this group, guys.
See that? Line it right up with you.
He's dead on the money, too, because we have to get to the point in soccer and understanding that sometimes a group will just take the draw. The U.S. has already won. Their goal differential is much higher than everybody else in this division. Unless they lose miserably in this game, they're advancing, okay? And at some point, you're just going to say, you know what? Job done. We're good to go here. Throw in, and I know no one wants to hear this, but I'm going to keep bringing it up. Books are getting crushed in this tournament. Every big goal scorer is scoring 2 or 3 goals. The Messi goal scorer the other night, I mean, the whole world was on that. They're going to get some get back at some point. You're going to see money, tickets all over the U.S. Why is this number dropping? And continue to ask that question. A number should not be dropping when the whole world's on the side. It should be going up. This number should be in the 200s by now. It's in the 130s now. Very questionable stuff here. I relate this a lot to Cape Verde because you go back to the goalkeeper, and I give the Australian manager a lot of credit. They benched their current goalkeeper and put this guy in, Matt Beach. He plays for Melbourne Victory, I believe they are. He was terrific. And the guest is right, Dan. Turkey is very up and down. They bossed that game. They just couldn't find any goals. Arda Güler was really good. I think Australia's the side here, plus a half a goal.
Dan, let me ask you a question on this because, and again, Jeff points out that line is dropping. Being on social media, taking a look around, I like to be I have my doctorate. I'm not a doctor, but I play one on TV. I'm the hamstring king. You tell me somebody's got a hamstring issue and they're fine. I'm telling you they're down 2 weeks. Now we're talking about Christian Pulisic, one of the best players on the American side, practicing away from the team, calf injury. Look, calves don't go away after 24 hours. What are we seeing from this angle, Dan, on maybe Pulisic not playing today? And if he doesn't, what that means for the game itself?
Yeah, I think you nailed it. And you can't talk this game without talking about Captain America, Christian Pulisic, potentially not seeing action. Now, you heard the USA manager speaking about it. He said, Pulisic should be and will be. It felt a lot more like should be available today. Now, when I hear things, it's the same like with NFL offseason. You know what I mean? Sometimes the way people phrase things tell you everything you need to know. And should be available means Pulisic probably does not start in this match. Now, how much does that matter? You saw the offensive output that they had even without Pulisic, but that tackle where he kind of get rolled up on behind, he never really looked the same, and then they sub him off early. Where there's smoke, there's fire. And I think for a team that absolutely exploded onto the scene, and what do we know about this United States men's national team is when it feels like the U.S. is finally behind them, that's where they find the letdown. Now, luckily for them, it's only match day 2. So match day 2 against Australia, maybe you can get a win here without Pulisic. But also, I think a draw without Pulisic is a fine outcome for him, which is, again, why I think you're just seeing that reverse line movement that Jeff is talking about. And also, when you talk about prohibitive favorites here in the World Cup, you're talking about teams like Brazil, who, are minus 1,000. You're talking about teams like Ecuador tomorrow, who's minus 900. Those are teams that are slam spots. Let the line lead the way on this one. And if the USA is such a slam dunk spot against this Australia team, why are they only minus 130 and dropping? I think a lot of that drop probably has to do with the fact that people don't expect Christian Pulisic to be in. But I think my handicap landing me on Australia is completely agnostic from anything that has to do with Pulisic because he really wasn't even a factor in game 1.